Lately, it feels like everything annoys you. Small things, minor inconveniences, people being too slow, too loud, too careless, a message, a comment, a mistake, things that never used to bother you, suddenly feel impossible to ignore. And sometimes, the anger appears so quickly that even you don't fully understand it. You tell yourself to calm down. You tell yourself it's not a big deal. But the feeling keeps coming back. Again, and again, and again. And eventually, you start wondering, why am I so angry all the time? Anger is usually not the first emotion. One of the biggest misunderstandings about anger is believing that anger is the actual problem. Most of the time, it isn't. Anger is often a secondary emotion, a reaction, a shield, a surface emotion. Something deeper usually exists underneath it, something less visible, something harder to admit, and because anger feels stronger, it gets all the attention. The exhaustion beneath anger. Many people who feel constantly angry are actually exhausted, mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted, physically exhausted. But exhaustion doesn't always look like sadness. Sometimes it looks like irritation. Sometimes it looks like frustration. Sometimes it looks like anger. Because when your energy is low, your patience becomes low too. And suddenly, small problems feel much bigger than they actually are. Stress changes everything. When stress becomes constant, your nervous system changes. You become more reactive, more alert, more sensitive. Your brain starts operating closer to survival mode. And when you're stuck in survival mode, everything feels more threatening, more frustrating, more difficult. You have less space between an event and your reaction. Anger as protection. Sometimes anger isn't about what happened. It's about protection. Because anger feels powerful. It feels active. It feels safer than vulnerability, safer than sadness, safer than disappointment, safer than fear. And over time, your mind may start using anger automatically, not because it wants conflict, but because it wants protection. Unmet expectations. A lot of anger comes from expectations. Expectations of yourself, expectations of other people, expectations of life. The problem is that reality rarely follows expectations perfectly. People disappoint you. Plans fail. Mistakes happen. And when the gap between expectation and reality grows, frustration grows with it. The hidden buildup. Many people think anger appears suddenly, but usually it accumulates. Small frustrations, small disappointments, small moments of stress. Each one feels manageable. Each one feels insignificant, until eventually the system reaches its limit, and something minor becomes the final trigger. Why everything feels personal. When you're emotionally overwhelmed, your brain starts interpreting situations differently. Neutral situations feel personal. Minor criticism feels bigger. Simple misunderstandings feel intentional. Not because reality changed, but because your emotional state changed. And that emotional filter affects everything you experience. Anger and control. Anger often increases when life feels unpredictable, when things feel uncertain, when outcomes feel outside your control, because control creates safety, and losing control creates discomfort. Sometimes what looks like anger is actually a reaction to uncertainty, a reaction to feeling powerless. What actually helps? One of the most important things you can do is stop asking, "How do I get rid of the anger?" and start asking, "What is the anger protecting?" Because anger often points towards something deeper, something unmet, something unresolved, something ignored. And until that deeper issue is acknowledged, the anger often returns. It also helps to recognize your state earlier. Most people notice anger only after it becomes intense, but anger usually begins much sooner, in tension, in frustration, in exhaustion, in mental overload. The earlier you notice it, the more space you have to respond differently. Another important shift is allowing yourself to experience emotions that anger often covers: disappointment, sadness, fear, loneliness. These emotions are uncomfortable, but avoiding them often strengthens anger, because anger keeps returning to protect what remains hidden. Many people spend years fighting their anger, judging it, suppressing it, trying to eliminate it, but understanding it is often more effective, because anger is information. It tells you something, not always accurately, but importantly. And once you begin listening, instead of fighting, the relationship changes. If you feel angry all the time, it doesn't necessarily mean you're an angry person. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. And it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Sometimes, anger is simply the visible part of something much deeper: stress, exhaustion, disappointment, pain. And when you begin understanding what exists beneath the anger itself often becomes easier to carry, and eventually easier to let go. If this felt familiar, you're probably not the only one carrying emotions like these. And if you want to understand your mind a little better each week, there's more here waiting for you.